Kahani Bar brings you a cocktail of stories, both in English and Hindi. I am Richa, and today's story is from our segment Waking Dreams by Neerja K. This collection of short stories was born somewhere between truth and the unknown, between dreams and waking up.
And today we bring you Trapped. Oh, how happy she was to be free, to go wherever she wanted, whenever she fancied, playfully rumbling and tumbling up and down over the mountainsides, clean and crystal clear in every eddy, in every wave, a pure soul. That is who she was. Her days were spent shimmering and reflecting the sunshine back into the universe, and at night she was a dancing floor for the moon. Nothing could stop her from flowing. No rocks, no pebbles, no twists, no turns, and no sudden falls. She could handle anything that life threw her way, endlessly flowing with grace, no matter what unfolded before her, fearlessly carving her way around big boulders and through thick forests. She danced with joy. How alive and unstoppable she felt, free to flow wherever nature took her, from icy banks and vast snowfields to spring greens and summer blooms, splashing life all along the way, painting her banks with colors of joy, grassy greens and buttercup yellows there, roughly kissed lips of rambling red roses here, drops of violet irises and blue forget-me-nots. All this beauty burst into life where there were just muddy browns before. Her journey never felt dull. So much to see, so many places to be. She lived in the moment, never worrying about the next. No time to waste on remorse or sorrow. She was filled to the brim with happiness and made others around her just that, happy. Undaunted by fate and unafraid of the future, she had thoughts, like most of us do, that her life would go on like this forever and ever. But nothing lasts forever, does it? No circumstance, no relationship, no love, no hate, no friendship, no animosity, nothing. Absolutely nothing is forever. And so, her joy too was not destined to last. One day, the cosmic womb rumbled deep within, a low, ominous growl. Far away at first, but then louder, bigger, stronger. The magnificent peaks shuddered in the skies, and the very earth upon which they stood started slipping and falling away. The mountains started to tumble and collapse upon themselves, sending flying, crashing demons of rock and debris in every direction. The sound was deafening. The air was now so thick with dust that you could barely see the great big boulders and the storm of stones whirling and kicking and shooting like thousands of maniac possessed dervishes. Giant trees got uprooted and flung like mere twigs. One crashed right into her, crushing her and blocking all exits. Everywhere she looked, there were rocks and earth and roots and havoc. Could she turn back perhaps? No way out. A massive range of cliffs had fallen behind her and blocked the mouth of her origin. Furiously trying to work out her options and frantically looking for a path, even just a small one, she kept telling herself to stay calm. But there was no way forward. Even if she somehow managed to go around the colossal trunk and the boulders, there was another imploded mountain in front. She stopped. What was the point? Hope started fading as rapidly as the daylight. Darkness set in the skies and deep in her heart. The fear of stagnation crept in slowly from the edges. It moved in inch by inch towards the core of her being. She rose up in anger, thrashing, heaving, pushing, smashing furiously. But nothing budged. She summoned all her strength and whipped herself into a huge tsunami that came crashing down. But the mountains had moved enough. They stood still now, and she was trapped for good. Grief hit her like a slap in the face. Steep mountains had surrounded her from all sides. Gloom set in, and deep depression seized her from within. Black, inky night fell heavy around her. All her energy suddenly evaporated. It felt like the life was draining out of her. Her once clear, pure soul started to become murky, stale, and toxic. She stood there in utter bewilderment, not knowing what to do. How to be, who to be. She had never known life the way it stood today. She felt so tired, so tired. She just wanted to curl up and die. Morning came and the sun glinted across her again. She stood perfectly still for the first time ever. She looked around, taking it all in. She never had before been still. The morning sun twinkled on her ripples ethereally, a sharp contrast against the wrecked surroundings. She tried to assess the damage. Without the turbulent emotions of the night, she saw what her situation was, this time a little more objectively. It was far from good. There was no escaping reality. The hard truth was that her entire life had changed. Her circumstances had dramatically altered forever. She would never be the same River again. Her character, her personality, her nature, it all would alter too. She didn't even feel like herself. There were no choices left. She was trapped in time and space. She could see, hard as it was to face it, that it was impossible for her to break free again. She felt helpless, and her helplessness turned into restlessness, and restlessness into anger, and anger into boundless rage. The cycle of emotions went on for weeks. She would start thrashing against the mountains that had entrapped her, but they were too mighty, unmoving, and strong for her. They were not imaginary, they were very real and very formidable and intimidating. There was no way she was going to be able to escape from this prison. How she longed to flow wild and free like she used to. Oh, how she would give anything to be free once more. But there was no way she could buy her freedom. There were no bribes, no negotiations, no bargains, none. Eventually, a strange calm came over her. All her anger spent crashing against the steep cliff faces. She became pensive. She tried to quiet her restless soul like a mother soothing a tantrum-throwing toddler. And it started to work. The realization came slowly and painfully, but with startling clarity. Like when muddy water settles and you can see the truth reflected on the clear surface. The only way out of this situation was acceptance. She had never known serenity. She kind of liked it. What does one do? Give up? Give up the being? No. The answer was a big no. She had to face the situation she found herself in. and try to make the best of it. Suddenly, an insight emerged from deep within. She had to be who she had become now and stop yearning for who she used to be or who she could have been. She had to find the best path forward while staying still. There were many possible upsides to this new changed reality. How could she focus her attention on all that and not the past? It dawned on her suddenly. She was a carefree, spirited mountain stream always on the move. But now she was this peaceful, magnificent lake. She closed her eyes and peered within. It was deep and still, placid and silent, exquisite in its own way. All kinds of different life and colors were starting to stir and be born into existence, including some fresh water springs that were beginning to burst forth. The sun still shone on her waters. The moon still visited her every night. She was once again filled with joy and felt this strong desire to enjoy being what she was. Once she realized this, she put all her energy into becoming the world's most beautiful freshwater lake, teeming with lifeblood. Still, but never stagnant.
This is Richa signing off. Take good care of yourselves till I'm back with the next story.